Welcome everyone to Carioca Arena 1 here in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, as we get set for the finals of the Basketball Champions League of Americas. São Paulo taking on Bigua. Carlin Gay alongside Craig Fada. Thanks for joining us wherever you are, however you're doing so. Undefeated São Paulo looking to cap off what has been an incredible season for them. And Bigua, who is peaking at the right time, Craig, looking for the upset.
Yeah, Bigua has they came into this the playoff at 4-2 in the group phase. As you mentioned, São Paulo undefeated in the group phase, and Bigua really has been riding the strength of Donald Sims and Luis Santos. The two of them in the first two games of the playoff, they've been averaging 60 points per game between the two of them. So, as you said, they're riding the hot hands. They're getting hot at the right time, and they're going to be taking on a very strong São Paulo team.
There you see the supporters of Bigua who have made the trip here to Brazil from Uruguay. About 2,000 kilometers away. But they're here, and they plan on making a ton of noise for what is probably the default home team here in Sao Paulo. That's a 6-hour drive away here in Rio. Sao Paulo will be wearing the home white jerseys, Bigua in the road blue uniforms. And a chance at hoisting the Basketball Champions League of America's Cup when it's all said and done. Congratulations to Minas for finishing in 3rd place. Craig, we saw that game prior to this one. Minas started on the ropes. They were able to battle back and walk away with the victory.
Yeah, for the second time in this playoff, Minas came back from a big deficit, albeit this one was a little bit earlier on than it was in the quarterfinal. But strong effort by Minas. They have to be proud of what they've accomplished here.
Well, our tournament started on Thursday with a delay, so it's only right our championship game starts with a bit of a delay. The basket on the right side of your screen being taken down, and made sure that everything is A-okay before we get this game started.
You weren't dunking on that rim in warm-ups, where you didn't break it down there.
If they had a Fisher-Price rim out there, Craig, I would have been all over that bad boy. Or maybe a trampoline. I would have been hanging on the rim at that point. But Craig, this gives us an opportunity to talk about both teams. You were a little closer to Sao Paulo, saw the dominance that was Bruno Caboclo, but it's more than just Bruno.
It is. Caboclo, in his first game in the playoff, got into some foul trouble. And so Lucas Nogueira stepped up. He played nearly 20 minutes in that quarterfinal when Sao Paulo defeated Real Estelí 75-71. Caboclo he's averaging 36.3 minutes per game in this tournament. Had 30 minutes and 40 seconds last night against who did they play last night? Minas. And he's strong. I mean, the NBA veteran, he runs up and down the floor like a gazelle. He can even handle the point a little bit. He's a little bit of a point center sometimes, and he's just going to be a ton for Bigua to try to handle.
Off we go. Basketball Champions League of America's Finals here in 2022. Bigua and Sao Paulo. Bigua will be going from left to right on your screen in the road dark uniform. Sao Paulo in the home white. Home from right to left. Thanks for joining us wherever you are, however you're doing so. There's Victor Rudd on the ball. Deep three for Rudd. Left it short. That's not the type of possession you want in a championship game, but of course nerves always a factor.
Yeah, Rudd shooting only 26.5% from three-point range. I don't think you want him taking those, especially that long.
Cornell's three no good. Here's Vidal. He'll probe. Behind the back pass to Santos in the first 2 of the game.
Well, one of the things we talked about in the Open, Carlin, was the effectiveness of Santos and Sims, between the two of them averaging 30 points per game in the playoff. Obviously, for Sao Paulo, that's one of their keys. They have to stop the two of them. One of the keys for Bigua, they have to stop Caboclo and Marquinhos Sousa, the 37-year-old veteran. And if you're looking for a third key for both teams have to find someone to try to support the big two for each one. They have to find somebody to step up, either from the bench or elsewhere in the starting lineup, because the defense on the other team is obviously going to be focused on stopping the big two for each team.
No question about it. Saw Vidal knock down a triple. Sosa responds with a triple of his own to break the ice for Sao Paulo. Bigua struggled in the group phase to put the ball in the basket, only averaging 80 points per game. That was 6th in the competition. Since they've gotten to Brazil, it's been a feast at the net for them. And it's been led by that man right there, Donald Sims, who knocks down his first triple of the evening.
Sims from Appalachian State, Southern Conference Player of the Year in 2010. When he graduated, he was Appalachian State's all-time leading scorer.
You watch him for 5 minutes, you see exactly why, as Carraza knocks down his first triple. Sims has scored 37 points and 34 points in the 2 games here in Brazil, and there's a foul on the drive.
The only 4 shots Sao Paulo has taken so far in this game have been from beyond the arc, and they've hit 2 of them. 3 of the shots for Bigua, of their 4 shots, have been from beyond the arc, and they've hit 2.
Cornell picks up his first foul. It's the first team foul for Sao Paulo. Here's Wright. Looking for help. Finds it in Vidal. Vidal with Caboclo on him. Tries to get it over the top of the big man and does.
That's a tough shot. Bruno Caboclo at 6'9", Vidal at 5'11". He had to throw that one up through the rafters to get that over the outstretched arms of Caboclo.
Might have scraped the ceiling on that attempt. Bennett with the gorgeous drive right to the tin. They want to go to Santos, it looks like. It's a 2-man game between him and Vidal. Vidal will tee up the 3. Left it short. He knew he was going to miss it, so he followed. It's a fresh 14 for Bigua. Good hands there by Bennett, poking it out of bounds. We'll stay here with 9 on the shot clock.
A couple of veteran point guards going at it. Elio Carraza, 32 years old for Sao Paulo. Santiago Vidal, also 32.
Sims, Santos might have got away with a walk, but he was intimidated at the rim by Caboclo.
Yep, he turned around, thought he was going to go up for an easy dunk, and then he saw Caboclo there and went, I think I'm going to do something different.
Many people would. Souza, inside to Caboclo. They clear the floor for him. Lorente Perez has his hands full. It's going to be an offensive foul. A little bit of a chicken wing there.
That's something we saw in the first playoff game for Sao Paulo. Caboclo got in foul trouble early. 4 minutes elapsed here in the first, so he just picked up his first foul, so I wouldn't say he's in foul trouble, but it's definitely something to keep an eye on.
If you're a Bigua, you probably look to attack him here. Put him in a ball screen situation. He is in one right now. Rudd's pass goes awry. Good save there by Cornell. And off and running is Sao Paulo. Sosa right to the rim. Missed the layup opportunity. And there goes Caboclo's second foul.
Well, you don't see Marquinhos Sousa miss very many of those. Sousa, the ageless wonder, 37 years old. He played nearly 35 minutes last night in the semifinal.
Sims on the drive, got bumped, follows his own miss. Good ball movement from Bigua, and it leads to a 3 for Vidal, who was cooking right now in the first quarter.
And I don't know if you noticed it on those, when the ball moved around on the outside, Caboclo closed on both of those shooters. And had he closed and gotten a little closer, he may have committed that third foul. That's a dangerous tactic for him at this point.
I could ill afford to have him sit on the bench here in this final as Santos goes up top and comes down hard. Leads to a timeout. Bigua rolling here. The Vidal-Santos connection leads to a highlight. 15-8 your score. Timeout, Sao Paulo.
No ataque, eu não quero se mexer no Bruno. Bota ele, bota o Bennett pra vir usar o pique. Ou põe o Marquinhos embaixo. Está andando, cara. Está andando. E outra, a gente tá chegando bem aqui, estamos se perdendo nos contra-ataques aqui, pô. Calma, tá, eles vão pagar pra você, chuta. Eu vou pagar pra você, chuta, cara. Você vai receber aqui, o cara tá aqui, você tem que chutar. Vai estar outra. Vai meter agora, vai meter.
What's up? Well, Sao Paulo has been rolling here in the BCLA, and they find themselves on the ropes here early on, Craig.
Yeah, they're going to have to be a little bit careful with Bruno Caboclo. He's already got 2 fouls, but Bruno Martari showing confidence in the veteran that he's going to know how to play with foul trouble. And Bigua doing a nice job sharing the ball so far. 4 assists on 6 of their made baskets so far.
A lot is made about Sims and Santos, and those two have scored a ton of baskets here in Brazil. The ball movement has been there all tournament long for Bigua as Bennett comes right out of the timeout and gets a layup.
Bennett's one of those guys, along with Tyrone Cornell, who can go off scoring. They can get you 20 if you need to.
Victor Rudd was working on the much smaller Bennett there. And Bennett does have a beef. Kept his hands as straight as he possibly could. A little bit of a dip led to the whistle blow. And that's the 14th foul here now in the first quarter for Sao Paulo. And that will allow Victor Rudd to toe the free throw line. Rudd a 76% free throw shooter. This is the first. Splits the pair. Gives Bigua back a 6-point lead. 2-3 zone now. So the team in blue. There's Caboclo for 3. Can't get it to go, and Rudd will vacuum that in.
He's got that range, though. He's a 50% three-point shooter for the tournament.
Another alley-oop there for Santos. They're forcing Bruno Caboclo to make a decision. Three banged home by Coraza.
He was 2 for 2 last night in the semi.
Pick it up right where he left off. There's Sims turning the corner. Sims banged inside. Gets the loose ball back and kisses it off the window. Ronald Sims, a professional scorer, already with 5. Caboclo down the lane, looking like Kareem with the skyhook.
That was a great-looking shot, but I'm a little concerned with the way Caboclo's playing defense. He's getting awfully close to the ball when Bigua goes to shoot. I mean, he's not shying away from contact or shying away from defending.
NASCAR pace right now here in this first period. Wonder if this pace could be kept up all game long. It's not much defense is being played.
We're in Brazil, so it's probably Formula One rather than NASCAR.
You're right. Right about that. Rudd with the floater, overshot everything. And Sosa comes away with the rebound. Finds Caboclo inside. Count it. And the foul. If there's one person you don't want to lose defensively is number 50 in white.
And how about that pass? Just lobbed it right into the outstretched hands of Caboclo, put him in a great position to succeed.
A lot was made about the battle of those two men, the two bigs for either team, Luis Santos, Bruno Caboclo. Santos heading to the bench here with 2:30 remaining in the first quarter. He picked up his first foul.
Now you have to wonder if Caboclo is going to make some hay with Santos out of there, because Caboclo can easily play all 40 minutes of this game.
No question. Roas on the roll.
Now that time Caboclo backed off defensively. He wasn't going to go for that foul.
Caboclo sets the screen for Cardosa. 3 on the way, missed there by Cornell. been cold from the outside to start this game. Sims. Rudd sees the lane open up. Good hands.
Marquinhos Sousa will pick your pocket all day long if you go by him like that.
Coraza knocks down another triple. He's 3 for 3 from deep. Give him 11 on the night. That's a 1-point game. Vidal uses the Rojas screen. Vidal dancing with it. Now penetrating inside. What a block by Cornell. Bennett Euro stepping his way to the hoop. And he gets hacked. He'll go to the line for 2 shots. Martin Rojas picking up the foul there. Stat sheet stuffing night so far for Vidal. 8 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. You'll watch the next minute and 11 seconds from the bench. As Bennett makes the first of 2.
Well, we're back where we were 8 minutes and 49 seconds ago. Do the math quickly there in my head. You'll learn that my math skills aren't the best.
And I couldn't throw you a life preserver because mine ain't any better. 6 points.
That's why we're
Bennett.
in broadcasting.
That's absolutely right. Don't want us doing your taxes. Bennett will hit the bench, giving Sao Paulo your lead as we approach the 1 minute mark to go in the first quarter. Rojas, Sims uses the Rojas screen. Sims penetrating, now finds Rojas. Couldn't handle the hot pass. Nogueira into the game for the first time. He sets the screen for Sosa. Sosa dribbling right to the rim.
Twin Towers look in now for Sao Paulo as both Caboclo and Nogueira are in there. We saw some of that in the semifinal game.
Rudd, step back, nails it.
Oh, that's tough.
He's been struggling with his jump shot here in Brazil, but maybe that gets him going. Shot clock turned off. Sao Paulo could hold for the last look here in the first quarter. Sosa for 3. Got it! That basket would not have counted had it fell. That's how we'll end the first quarter. Good action here in this one. Sao Paulo up 30-26 after 1. Take a look at some of the stats here from first 10 minutes of play. 3-point shooting has been huge for both teams. 5 threes already for Sao Paulo.
We saw that in the third place game as well between Minas and Kimsa. Both of those teams just shot the lights out. That trend's continuing here in the championship game.
Second chance points right now in favor of Bigua. Leading that category 5-0. As we see both these teams go to the bench, this is probably where the game will be won and lost, Craig. Starting 5 produces so many points for both of these squads when you look at Caboclo and Sims on the other end, but at some point you're going to have to rest them.
Yeah, we talked about that early on, that Bigua is going to have to find somebody besides Sims and Santos to do some damage. Likewise, Sao Paulo needs to look beyond Caboclo and Sousa. And so far tonight, Elio Coraza has stepped up in that role for Sao Paulo.
And on On the other end, it's been Santiago Vidal with his 8 points, 3 assists, and 3 rebounds, leading the way, the captain for Bigua. Well, Sao Paulo undefeated this year in Basketball Champions League of Americas, trying to cap things off with a championship. On the other end, Bigua peaking at the right time. They lost their first game in group play, their last game in group play, but they have been tremendous here in Brazil. And they're hoping to bring the trophy back to Uruguay. Second quarter action. Sao Paulo up 30-26. Harlan Gay, Craig Veda, thanks for joining us wherever you are, however you're doing so. It's Sao Paulo in the white jerseys, Bigua in the row blue. Victor Rudd left wide open, had all day to tee it up, and he left it short. And Caboclo pulls down the rebound.
We saw Rudd take the first shot of the game for Bigua from three-point range. It was about 4 feet farther back than that. And I mentioned at the time, he's only a 26% three-point shooter. I don't think you want him taking too many of those, or I don't care how open he is. They'll let him have those all day long.
Caboclo, one dribble pull, and drills it. Caboclo now up to 8 points. We questioned whether or not he should be in the game as he has 2 fouls in his back pocket. Right decision has been made from Coach Montari so far. Sims, hesitation dribble, rejected by the left hand of Nogueira.
Didn't get it up quite high enough over the 7-footer.
Coraza, Nogueira, up top, down hard, and it leads to a timeout for Coach Gutierrez and Bigua.
He got the block at the defensive end, and they fed him on the offensive end, and that causes Bigua to take timeout. And just like that, Sao Paulo is rolling.
Hey, Sam, okay, es Luis segundo, Martín primero, ¿tá? Víctor o Donald, ¿tá? Víctor, come this, Luis to Martín, this, with the handoff, and then you choose both of you, okay? You can screen between you, one side and the other side. Hey, the most important thing, don't lose your mind. We have to be in game all the game, okay?
Well, that message was clear as mud, wasn't it? Coach Gutierrez talking to his squad. Maintain your composure. And a coach on the floor in Santiago Vidal back into the game for Bigua. And you see the man of the hour right now for Sao Paulo, Bruno Caboclo, imposing his will on the game now. Still in foul trouble, but he does have 8 points, 3 of 5 shooting.
It seems like there should be more time elapsed in the second quarter than just a minute and a half. There's been so much action by Sao Paulo. I looked at the clock and I thought it would be around the 6.5-minute mark.
No question about it. Rudd on the floater, air mails it. Here's Souza. Coraza for 3 again!
My goodness. Elio Coraza, 4 for 4 from three-point land, 5 for 5 overall. Came into this game averaging 6.7 points for the tournament. He's already got 14.
Coelho picks up the foul there. We asked who the X factor would be. Coraza may be the answer to our question.
Could very well be.
It's a 12-point spread. As you said, it feels like there should be so much more time off the clock here in the second quarter. Intimidation there by Caboclo, as Rojas could not convert right on the doorstep.
And this is the first time Henrique Coelho has been in the game for Sao Paulo. Don't discount him because he chews up minutes, quality minutes, and he can get you some points. He's averaging 15.1 points per game in the BCLA.
Nogueira was fouled there. He'll go to the line for 2 shots. Roas will sit. This might be one of those games where Roas is a little bit too undersized for. Nogueira missed that free throw terribly. Former first-round pick in the NBA. Nogueira now applying his trade for Sao Paulo, his home country, his home city, trying to bring a championship back to the crib, as the kids would say. Screen and a foul there by Coelho. Vidal exited the game. He's triggering this inbound. And Bigua has been outscored 12-2. Coach Gutierrez said, you know what? Let me get my man back on the floor. Another opportunity right on the doorstep, and Santos was rejected. Here comes Sao Paulo.
He was trapped between Caboclo and Nogueira. He had nowhere to go except up into their arms. And if Sao Paulo runs, Santos cannot keep up with either Caboclo or Nogueira.
It's been a while since we've seen an offering from Donald Sims. Coelho guarding him. Here he is on the rock. He'll tee up a 3. He's fouled! Count it! 4-point play opportunity for the scoring machine, Donald Sims.
That is something that Henrique Coelho does, is he does tend to commit a lot of fouls. Seen him on the national team for Brazil, but that's a bad foul to take right there.
And that foul puts him on the bench. Picked up 3 quick ones. And Sims misses the free throw. He went perfect from the line in the semifinal win. His first attempt at the line here, missed it. Souza falling away. That's picture perfect.
Well, since I can't jinx Sao Paulo, since they've already missed a free throw, they're 4 or 5 from the line. They were 15 of 15 last night.
How about Donald Sims going into his bag of tricks? They are knocking down his step back 3.
Yeah, I think Donald Sims has had about enough of this. He's had a quiet 13 points, but I think he's going to start making some noise.
Bennett for 3, responds.
My goodness.
Bennett with 9 now. It's his first triple. Sims has a much bigger Caboclo on him. He'll stare him down, jack up a 3, can't get it to go. Vacuumed in by Coraza. Coraza wants to go to the block with Bennett. Good hands there by Vidal, poking it out of bounds. 16 to shoot for Sao Paulo. Souza will sit. Gonçalves will come in for Sao Paulo. We're 7 in white.
Isaac Goncalves is another one of those guys who can play good defense. He's rangy. He's got long arms.
Defense there on the shot attempt. Quick block by Santos. He's looking for the ball on the block. They did not give it to him. Instead, it's Rudd showing you the bag of tricks as he goes right by Nogueira. Rudd could give you that anytime he wants, but you scratch your head when he settles for those 3-point shots. Error pass there by Nogueira, and he's rushing in saying it was last touched by Bigua.
Yeah, Caboclo saying he never touched it.
See on the replay here, correct? Oh, yeah.
Yep. That was clearly touched by Santos.
Their argument was heard by the officials. We'll have 7 on the shot for Sao Paulo to work with. 10-point game. Caboclo teeing up the 3. He's feeling it.
Oh, that just looked so comfortable for him. Just to catch and shoot. A guy that size with that kind of range.
Bennett with the bump on Vidal. That will send Vidal to the line for 2. You see the bump there. 24-10 run in favor of Sao Paulo. And Vidal, who's been quiet since the first quarter, looking to make some free throws here. These haven't been a given so far for Bigua. Almost felt like he was willing that one in, leaning back the way that was released.
Giving it a little, I guess we can't say English.
Been perfect from the line here in Brazil.
Now, you had to use the P word, didn't you?
I did.
Oh.
Still with the Midas touch from the line. He's in double figures now with 10. 4:33 remaining in the first half. Bennett rejected inside by Santos.
Boy, and if he'd have caught that ball clean, he might have gone up sooner, and Santos wouldn't have been able to get over there to make that block, but a strong block. As you see Santos fighting off the hand of Marquinhos Sousa.
That was right on the drive. That will send him to the line. That's the first time, Craig, we've seen him turn down the open 3 and attack. And if you're a Bigua supporter, you want to see more of that.
Yeah, Rudd can get to the rack, especially if he's being defended by Nogueira. Nogueira not quite as mobile as Caboclo.
Well, free throws starting to become a problem now for Bigua. Rudd was a 76% free throw shooter coming into this game. And it's been Brick City since.
Bigua 3 for 8 now from the free throw line.
Not a recipe for
they're
success.
They're actually shooting better from 3-point range. They're 5 for 8.
Cardosa inside. Right on the doorstep is Cornell, and he missed a layup opportunity. Vidal. Plenty of ball fakes and finds Sosa, who almost takes down the rim. Rather, Santos. Give Santos 8 points. Just almost nervous there for a second. We had the delay with that specific goal. And you have a big man like Santos throwing it down and shaking it a little bit. Thought we were headed for another delay. All of Santos's buckets come off assists. Salves for 3, no good.
And he's another guy you don't want shooting a lot of three-pointers. Goncalves only 22% from beyond the arc in the tournament.
Sims' 3 is short. Leaking out is Cardosa. Nice find! Cornell flying in for 2. And it leads to a timeout.
A little cherry pick and then feed the filler.
49-38 your score. Timeout on the floor. Late second quarter. As Coach Gutierrez trying to salvage here this half as momentum has swung completely in the favor of Sao Paulo. Let's listen into his huddle.
Take out Donald here. Luis, vení directo. Vení directo. Ey, fíjate, si hay cambios, ya cae acá directo. Pepo, tenés esto con Víctor para seguir atacando ahí. Seguí con ese pico. 11 puntos, nos mantenemos en juego. Ey, keeping 2 here in defense.
Ey, dale que falta un montón, dale, ey.
Dale, vamos.
Dale que falta un montón, dale.
Craig, I took a look at Bigua's faces as they sat there during that timeout, and I saw a bunch of tired expressions across their faces. And there's still plenty of time here in this second quarter. They don't want the dish to run away with the spoon here.
Yeah, they've had to work in this tournament a little bit more than Sao Paulo has. Sao Paulo was challenged in their quarterfinal matchup against Real Esteli because Caboclo was in foul trouble. And then last night, they just dominated Minas from start to finish. They led nearly 36 minutes in the game.
Hard foul there as Rudd hits the deck. And Santos is asking for the officials to look at it. Hopefully Rudd's okay. Take a look at the replay here with it. Wasn't able to brace his fall there. See him back on his feet. Looks like he's okay. Salves picks up the first foul for him of the game. Sao Paulo's been in the penalty for quite some time.
When you're a guy that size and you hit the deck, it's an awful lot of gravity coming down. Got to make sure while you're laying there that all your parts are in one piece.
If that had been me, I'd still be on the ground and probably have a good 20-minute delay. No chance I'd be bouncing up the way that Rudd has.
They just have to cover me over. Put up a marker, and that'd be it.
The veteran Rudd using every second of the allotted time here to make sure he can catch a second win. Does seem like Bigua is exhausted here in this second quarter.
I will say the squeegee guys in this tournament have been the most thorough I've ever seen at any tournament. I've been all over South America covering basketball tournaments, and I've never seen squeegee guys work so hard as they have here.
Credit to them and FIBA for making sure that player safety is A1 as Rudd finally makes a free throw. Bigua had 12 points up until that point. They now tick over to 13. Still down 10. Maybe the bump on the ground helped his free throw shooting a little bit as he gets up to 50% on the evening. 9-point game.
And don't forget, it's early fall in Rio. And so humidity, still some of that summer humidity may be a factor.
No question about it. Souza. This is a mismatch. He's going to look to put it on the deck. Souza for three, no good.
Yeah,
Down,
I'm surprised he didn't try to get around Santos.
He should have. Put him under pressure, maybe even force him into a foul. Bigua doing a good job staying out of the foul trouble. They only have the one team foul here in this second period. They go right back inside. Souza, the double, late to come. And every single time, Santos is going to score.
Marquinhos Sousa wanted the offensive foul because he felt like Santos hooked him and went around. I think Sousa may have a little bit of a point there.
I agree with that. It's a championship game. Sometimes officials like to let the players decide it. Cornell right to the 10. Looked like he was shot out of a cannon that time. 4 points and counting for him.
Actually, a little surprised somebody didn't foul him there.
Rudd turns the corner. He'll go back to the free throw line. It's going to be appearance number 7 and 8 for him on the night. And looks like a little chest to chest as players beginning to jaw back and forth. And we take a look at that replay.
Goncalves was committing the foul without trying to make it look like he was committing the foul. He was trying to lean out with his top half after he bumped with the bottom half.
It's 3 free throws in a row now for Victor Rutt.
And you know these guys all know each other. It's like the NCAA in America, or the NBA for sure, that all these guys have played in all these leagues all over South America, especially these veterans. They play in the top leagues in Argentina and Brazil and Puerto Rico. And these guys have chewed a lot of the same dirt together.
No question about it. Bennett teeing up a 3 and drills it.
I thought his foot was on the line.
I do have the right to review that. For the time being, it's a 10-point spread. Vidal to the bucket. Can't get it to go. Defense there by Bennett.
It's a nice job by Sao Paulo to have withstood this run by Bigua. They led by 13, then Bigua chipped it down. Now it's back at 10.
Bennett on the deck. Good hands there by Sims. There's going to be 5 on the shot clock, or rather 4. The game clock looked like it was still moving after the ball went out of bounds. Let's see if they add some time back on.
I don't know if you mentioned this, but Bigua was outscored 12-2 while Santiago Vidal was on the bench.
And so far, that's been the difference in the game. The offense sort of stalled when that happened. And we'll have Sao Paulo taking a timeout. Might as well use it. Get a good possession before the half. The shot clock down to 4. 10-point game. Coach Montari's huddle.
Vem aqui. Elinho dá o lateral. Elinho, dá o lateral. Bennett recebe, vem com o Marquinhos. Tem 5 aí, Bruno. 4 segundos. Tem 5, por isso mesmo. Já recebe e já vem. Já recebe e vem pro corte. Você tá no corta-luz. Tá? Tá, você... Não, dá tempo. Recebe, o Bennett. Recebe e já vem e você já vai.
Quer fazer vermelho, mano? Começa a dar vermelho. A vermelha, olha só. Ela vai ficar só eu e o Tai. Ele vai ter que trocar, mano. Aí onde que o Tai vai entrar. Entendeu?
Vai ser nós 4 aqui.
Não, vamos fazer a vermelha. Clique em mim, mano. Não, pode fazer, Tai. É a linha. É a linha.
Bring him to the 3-point line.
Again, we talked about how Sao Paulo couldn't just rely on Bruno Caboclo and Marquinhos Sosa. Caboclo with 11, Sousa with 10, but Elio Carraza 14 points and 6 assists. Cordero Bennett has 12 points on 4 of 6 shooting from the floor.
Total team effort so far for Sao Paulo. Bennett tees up another 3 and rattles it home.
My goodness.
Stroking with confidence, and why wouldn't you if you haven't missed from 3-point range all night? Roas, backdoor cut by Sims. Great hands by Carraza. Bennett in front court. Reverse layup not there. And Bigua, with the shot clock turned off, has Lorente Perez teeing up a triple, and he rattles it home. Bennett for 3 at the buzzer. Almost banked it in.
He almost Steph Curry'd that one.
His first miss from 3-point range comes at the horn. His team with all the momentum going into the halftime break. Sao Paulo up 57-47 here at the half in the championship game, the Basketball Champions League of Americas. Let's take a look at some of the stats from the first half. And Craig, 3-point range, been kind to both teams, but it's Sao Paulo with a 10-point lead.
Yeah, both teams shooting the ball extremely well.
See the assist numbers as well, 14-13 in favor of Sao Paulo. See even on the rebounding count. Here's some of the top scorers. Bennett, 15 and counting. Coraza, the X factor so far for Sao Paulo with 14. Sim Santos, the story of the tournament so far for Bigua. They lead the way. And Vidal has been that third scorer that we've been asking who it could be.
You know, I'm looking up and down the stat sheet here, and nothing's really jumping out at me as to why Sao Paulo is ahead by 10. The most dominant stats, points in the paint, Bigua leading 20-16. Second chance points, Bigua 5-0. Everything else is pretty well even. And so you look up and down the stats and you think, how is this a 10-point game?
If you're Bigua, you've left some points at the line. 7 of 11 from the free throw line.
But they've still scored more from the free throw line than Sao Paulo has. Sao Paulo's only 4 or 5.
Yeah.
So it's... I mean, maybe I need to take off my shoes and check the math on this, but I'm looking at these stats and I'm wondering how Bigua's down by 10.
They're probably thinking the same. But it's the three-point line right now that has been the difference for Sao Paulo. As you see some of the highlights, Bruno Caboclo nailing a three. This is where I thought we would have a delay. Santos almost took down the net.
Yeah, the shooting percentage on three-pointers, Bigua has the advantage at 60%, but Sao Paulo has hit 5 more threes, so there's your difference.
And that's definitely what's going to be discussed in the halftime break. As Bigua finds himself down 10, trying to pull off the upset against Sao Paulo. We have 20 minutes left of basketball here in Brazil. Will Sao Paulo hoist the trophy at the end of it all on an undefeated season? Or will Bigua be the spoilers? We'll take the break and come back with second half action here at the Basketball Champions League of America's final.
Não queríamos deixar passar esta oportunidade para fazer uma homenagem muito especial a alguém muito querido no Rio de Janeiro, no Brasil e por toda a família FIBA. Geraci Nicolas Bozins, nosso querido amigo grego, deixou-nos em fevereiro e hoje o board da PCL Américas quer recordá-lo com esta bola comemorativa que recebem os seus familiares. Bozins foi presidente da Federação de Basquete no Rio de Janeiro entre 1985 e 1996. Presidente da Confederação Brasileira de Basquete entre 1997 e 2009. Presidente da Consul Basket entre 2008 e 2019. Também foi vice-presidente da segunda divisão da FIBA nas Américas entre 2014 e 2019. Fez parte do Comitê de Ética da FIBA e do Comitê de Competições Pan-América como membro honorário. Grego, a família FIBA sempre terá você na memória. Os aplausos da Arena Carioca 1 ao eterno Grego.
Back we are here at the Arena 1 in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Easy for me to say. The Basketball Champions League of America's final. Carlin Gale alongside Craig Feda. We've seen 20 minutes of great action, 20 minutes of great offense on both sides. Sao Paulo leads Bigua 57-47. Greg, we were scratching our head at halftime to figure out where the difference was between these two teams because the stats seem pretty even. But it's been a three-point line, really, for Sao Paulo.
Yeah, the stats have been pretty even the percentage of three-point attempts made, but Sao Paulo has just hit a few more. And so you look at the output from Sao Paulo in the first half, 57 points. And remember, for our American viewers, these FIBA quarters are only 10-minute quarters. So while in the NBA, in a 12-minute quarter, 57 points at halftime isn't all that unusual. 57 points in 20 minutes is absolutely blistering. So I don't think Bigua has anything to panic about at this point. They just have to hope Sao Paulo cools off.
Off we go here in the second half. Bigua wearing the road dark uniforms, going from right to left on your screen. Sao Paulo in the home white. Sao Paulo looking to complete an undefeated season with a championship here at the Basketball Champions League of Americas. Bigua trying to peak at the right time. They've been able to put up points here in Brazil as we see Cornell go to the bucket for the first two here in the second half.
That was a gorgeous job by Cornell to protect that ball on his way up.
Santos rejected inside by Sosa.
Every time you see Marquinhos Sousa, you think he moves like a guard.
Might be time for an early timeout as Bruno Caboclo drills a 3. 5-0 run to start this second half. Boy, Sao Paulo, when they get going, it just feels like they're coming at you like a tidal wave. Lorente Perez for 3. Can't get it to go. Vacuumed in by Cornell. Bennett. Pass too hot for Sosa to handle. 3-on-1 opportunity. Santos. Good patience there.
Speaking about Sousa a moment ago, he handles the ball like a guard. He moves like a guard, but he's 6'8". Goodness gracious.
Bruno Caboclo is rolling. 17 points, 4 of 5 from 3. Feels like a mismatch out there with Luis Santos on him because Santos does not want to play on the perimeter.
4 players in double figures for Sao Paulo.
Rudd for 3. He's still off. It's got to be a timeout here as Cornell puts it up and in. And Sao Paulo up to an 18-point spread, the biggest lead of the game, leading to a timeout. Bigua, seeing their hopes of a championship slowly slip away.
10-2 run to open up the third quarter by Sao Paulo, and if Bigua was hoping Sao Paulo was going to cool off, that ain't happening in the first couple minutes of this third quarter.
Coach Gutierrez in his huddle.
Sigo y dale con pico. Dale con pico para que Martín venga acá con Donald que hemos sacado de esas dos situaciones. Allá en defensa. Vamos, pelea hasta el final. Vamos, chicos. Peleamos hasta el final. Sigan cambiando. ¿tá? Metan ese switch ahí, los 1 por 1.
Well, the number 1 scoring team in the Basketball Champions League of America is putting on an offensive show. 67 points early here in the third quarter. They have 4 players in double digits, and 18 of their 25 made field goals have been assisted. Bigua on the ropes, down 18, but there's still plenty of time left in the game. We've seen runs go the other way.
And this is just historic shooting by Sao Paulo. 25 of 40 for 62.5% overall. 12 of 19 for 63% from two-point range. 13 of 21 for 62% from three.
Point blank miss there by Rojas. Rudd finally cashing in from deep.
Again, Rudd's not a guy you want taking a lot of threes. That was his first one on 4 attempts in this game. But still, if you're Sao Paulo, you'll let him take that shot all day long.
No question. Might even triple dog dare him to do it. Ball last touch there by Bigua. There's going to be 7 on the shot clock for Sao Paulo to work with. We talked about off the top who would help Caboclo carry the offensive load. He's had plenty of help in this game. Coraza has helped. We've seen help from Bennett and Sosa.
Sao Paulo has showed great balance in this tournament so far, but they have not been this balanced as Marquinhos Sousa hits from three. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy.
Another 18-point lead for Sao Paulo. Pouring it on now. Sims to the bucket. Can't get it to go. Cardosa left alone. Inside, Bruno Caboclo missed it. That long pass overshot Donald Sims, who was late to come back defensively. And he looks exhausted. He has carried this Bigua offense. 37 points in the final 8 win. 34 in the semifinal game to get Bigua here. That's 2 of the 3 top scoring outputs this season in the Basketball Champions League of Americas. He's going to need to replicate that tonight to even have a chance here, hoisting a championship. Bennett, 1 dribble, and now he needs help. If that had fell, I would have walked out of my chair.
That was a heat check shot there by Marquinhos Sousa.
Well, there's no 18-point shots in this game. Bigua has to learn to kind of chip away. Rudd. Can't get it to go. He's making life easy for Bennett, who is much smaller guarding him, giving up 5 inches in height. Coraza. The corner, it's Bennett. Bennett will back down Vidal. Cornell could not handle the hot pass. They'll stay here with 6 to shoot.
There's no minutes per game sort in this tournament on the stat page, but Donald Sims averaging 33 minutes per game in this tournament. You have to wonder if the heavy minute load is having an effect on him. Caboclo averaging 36.3.
And he looks as fresh as a daisy as he gallops in there for the layup. Biggest lead of the game. Coraza with the steal in the backcourt. Adds to it. 22-point lead for the undefeated Sao Paulo. And look at Caboclo picking up at half court. Minutes don't look like they're wearing on him right now, Craig.
No, he's been in, the 48-minute NBA games. He is young and in his prime.
Playing terrific basketball. Sims there drawing the foul. It's the first foul here in this third period. Here's Sims. Uses the jab step, has the switch. Caboclo on him. Rudd for 3 again. Rattles it home. That's 2 in a row for Rudd.
I still let him shoot that every time.
It's up to 15. He was 2 of 12 from the field in the semifinals. Pena Garcia on the floor for the first time for Bigua, and he gets blown by. But Bennett blows the layup because he was fouled. He'll go to the line for 2 shots.
Maybe if Rudd hits 5 or 6 more of those, I might start defending him shooting the 3, but he's got to prove it.
thing about Rudd, he'll take the 5 or 6 more if you give it to him.
Yeah, he will.
How about Cordero Bennett's night? Give him 17 points and counting now.
Yeah, it's very effective, somewhat quiet, only because Caboclo and Sousa have been, and Elio Carraza have been just shooting the lights out. But Bennett, he's 3 or 4 from beyond the arc.
Lead is 21. Rudd playing with his food and loses possession, and it's unraveling big time here for Bigua in the third quarter. Being outscored 19-8 in this frame. And Rudd looks exhausted as well. Skip pass. Bennett's 3, no good. Will he get his own rebound? He does!
Wow, did you see how hard he hustled to track down that rebound? He ran all the way across the court to pick that up.
Oh! Cornell punctuating a great offensive possession for Sao Paulo.
All 5 players on the floor right now for Sao Paulo in double figures.
Sims trying to silence the crowd. He can't. Let's take a look at this replay once again.
And then he went up and smacked the backboard. That'll get you a T in some arenas.
Glad the officials kept their whistles silent there. 2-3 zone here for Bigua. Got to do something to change the rhythm. Sousa's 3, no good, and Lorente Perez vacuums that in. Rudd will tee up another 3. Drills it, 3 for 3.
Okay. Maybe
Here
I don't want
third.
him continuing to shoot those threes.
That's why you and I are commentators and not coaches.
I don't know. I still give him that one all day long.
Cornell showed the up fake, now puts it on the deck. Bennett, Caboclo crossing over. Great ball movement for Sao Paulo. They can't convert on the layup attempt by Bennett. And Rudd vacuums it in. Sims. He thought he had an easy
hustling down the
layup.
court.
And what a play, as you called it out. Bruno Caboclo, up 20, still hustling. And that really should be Sao Paulo basketball. His last touch by Bigua from my vantage point. But it's going to be Bigua ball with 20 to shoot. What a third quarter this has been, as Cornell getting a hand from the Sao Paulo supporters who have made the trip here to Rio de Janeiro. About a 6-hour drive from Sao Paulo to Rio. Lorente Perez, no good on the triple attempt. And Carraza taking his time coming up the court.
Both of these teams coming up on their 100th anniversary. Bigua founded in 1931. Sao Paulo in 1930.
These players would love to add to that history with a championship win here. There's a foul. Are they going to call a foul on Bennett, or is it just an official's timeout as Bennett caught Rudd in the face accidentally? You'll see it on the replay. Oop. Sportsmanship shown. Yeah. Sportsmanship shown there by both players. .205 remaining in this third quarter. Rudd uses the Santos screen. I haven't said his name in some time as he's trying to post. Santos trying to put Caboclo on his back. No one found him. Pena Garcia, deep 3. Falls to Santos. Can't do anything with it. And Sao Paulo coming back the other way.
It was not a very crisp offensive set for Bigua.
This is crisp.
My goodness.
Bruno Caboclo is having himself a night. 22 points, 5 of 7 from three-point range. Rudd finally misses.
Finally.
You see the three-point numbers. Both teams shooting pretty good from three. Well, one team shooting great. The other team shooting good.
Yeah.
Coraza. Nogueira. Nice cut by Sosa. That should have been a foul call on Santos, but we'll play on. 5-on-4 opportunity for Bigua. Oh, gorgeous feed. Oh, Caboclo swallowed the basketball.
Look at that man hustle. Look at him. How about that pass? And then Elio Coraza tried to close the feet on it.
All basketball.
Yeah.
Caboclo throws it away. It's the fifth turnover for Sao Paulo. Bigua has only put up 11 in this frame.
It's not like Bigua's turned the ball over a ton either. They only have 8 turnovers. These teams are taking good care of the ball. They're both shooting well. It's just that Sao Paulo is shooting it at an historic rate.
That's the reason for the 21-point advantage. Shot clock turned off here in the third quarter. Nogueira will screen. Rejected by Souza. 3 on the way.
Oh, why
of
not?
Course it falls.
And Ike Coelho hits from 3. Man, everybody's getting in on the act.
What a performance in the third quarter. 24 is the difference. Sao Paulo 10 minutes away from capping a perfect season with a championship. Greg, as you mentioned, here are some of the shooting percentages. Both teams should be happy with that. Bigua is not struggling from the field by any means.
No.
21 assists for Sao Paulo. 31 made baskets. 16 three-pointers. That's really been the difference of the game so far.
Sao Paulo in 3 quarters has put up 30, 27, and 27. I mean, how do you compete with that?
You can't. You can't.
I mean, you just shake your head and you just give them the trophy.
10 minutes away from claiming it. What a season it would be for them. As we mentioned, they've been undefeated here in the BCLA. But 12 teams compete in the Basketball Champions League of Americas across 5 countries. And it's not just any and anyone, Craig. It's champions that play here. Got to win your league to be here. And right now, Sao Paulo 10 minutes away from claiming to be the best team in the Americas. And an opportunity to go play for the right to call themselves the best team in the world. Sao Paulo 16 for 29 from 3. They have been terrific.
In that third quarter, they only scored 11 points, and 9 of those were on the three-pointers from somebody who doesn't shoot three-pointers, Victor Rudd. Sao Paulo playing in Novo Basquete, Brazil, and Bigua playing in Liga Uruguaya de Basketbol. Both historic teams.
Bigua, the 2021 champions of the Uruguayan top league. Donald Sims, the most valuable player in that league. As Vidal with a line drive 3. That falls. He's perfect from 3. Sao Paulo looks content to try and eat some of this clock. I always wonder if that's the right move, or you just keep the momentum playing. That's going to be an offensive foul on Bruno Caboclo, and he's done a great job after picking up those 2 quick fouls, Craig.
Yeah, he got those first 2 fouls early in the first quarter, stayed in the game. He played some aggressive defense after that, which was very surprising to me. Aggressive but clean. He didn't commit any more fouls, and now just with 9:09 left in the game, he commits his 3rd foul.
Pena Garcia's 3, no good. If Bigua could get this lead down to about 10 with 5 minutes in the game, should have a close finish.
Yeah, and you worry about running clock a little bit too early, because then your offense just gets completely out of sync. And then if you need to start scoring points later, if the other team starts coming back, you don't have any offensive rhythm or flow.
Andrioli picking up the foul there. It's the first time we've seen him tonight. And he's played sparingly in this tournament.
But El Pato is going to have to figure a way to take flight here in the 4th quarter.
Hear the singing and chanting from Sao Paulo supporters. Tough finish inside.
Man, Coelho wanted a foul. There was some contact in there, but
Coelho ended the 3rd quarter with a triple. And his first offering at the rim here in the 4th. It's a tough layup.
That 3 by Coelho at the end of the 3rd quarter felt like it was about a 12-pointer.
Sims. Andrioli can't get the bounce. He'll get the offensive rebound on the tap out, and Sims rolls it down. $17 and counting for Sims. Hustle just not there for Bigua. That ball was just up for grabs, and they allowed it to roll to Caboclo. 10 on the shot clock. It's Bennett.
I think Bigua is pretty gassed at this point.
Coraza, step back 3. Way off.
Coraza gave that a little extra oomph. I'm not sure, he wasn't that far out. He must have been closer than he thought he was, because he shot that up and just about banked it off the shot clock.
I'd have felt like he got hit on that possession. The referee's whistle stayed silent. Sims pulls for 2. Can't get it to go. Santos skying for the board and putting in some work, getting the 4th foul of the game on Bruno Caboclo. There's 2 big bodies going to work there.
Yeah, Caboclo reached in and got his arm caught. He was trying not to foul, but his arm got stuck. He was trying to get his arm out of there and put his hands up.
7:23 remaining in the game. Normally I would say, hey, Caboclo with the 4th foul, maybe sit him down a little bit just to preserve him, but the way he played with 2 fouls early in the game, I'm going to keep that one to myself. Santos knocks down the first free throw. He's a 59% free throw shooter. Can't tell from that stroke. Knocks them both down.
Santos now with 14.
Good hands there by Santos. 3-on-1 opportunity as Vidal puts it up. And a gorgeous finish inside by Rudd. A good timeout here, because you don't want to give any life to Bigua.
Yeah, they've chipped it away down to 17, but while that's still a sizable lead, you don't want the momentum to swing too much in Bigua's favor.
86-69 your score. Here you see the team leaders for Sao Paulo. Caboclo 22, Bennett 7 rebounds. Coraza with double-digit assists. Let's listen into the huddle.
Paramos de atacar, paramos de agredir. Brunão, pra cá, Bruno. Pra cá. Outra coisa, eu quero o Bennett no pique central agora, tá? Quero o Bennett no pique central. Vamos, moçada, tem que agredir. Paramos de jogar. Calma, caralho.
He's orchestrated a brilliant game plan this evening, and everything always looks good as a head coach when your jump shot's falling the way it has been for Sao Paulo.
And Elio Carrazza was fired up as he got up off the bench there. I think it's because he realized Sao Paulo kind of was taking a timeout on the floor.
Yeah.
You know, they let up off the gas just a little bit. I'm not saying they were dogging it by any stretch of the imagination.
But the effort level did drop a little bit, as you said, and it's allowed some daylight for Bigua.
Yeah, they were starting to nurse some clock, as they're doing right here. Now a sloppy
and a
play
foul
by Cornell.
Yeah, and a foul on Cornell. He gave it away, and a bonehead foul.
Yeah, that was just lazy. He kind of turned through it with one hand. He didn't even turn all the way around, and he knew it as soon as he hit the deck.
That's the third team foul here in the fourth period. And if you're Bigua, you're thinking attack, attack, attack. Try to get Sao Paulo in that penalty. Good way to chip away at big leads. Do it when the clock stopped. Vidal with the head tap. See what that means. It means a screen set by Rudd and Santos. Rudd, who has been hot from three-point range, now going down low on the deck. That's too easy, isn't it? They can't convert.
Yeah, they had the mismatch. They had Carrazza guarding him.
Santos gets the kind roll. He's talking a little junk on his way back down the court. 16 and counting for him. Bigua on an 11-2 run. There's a double coming. Vidal missed it. Good block inside by Santos. Sims to Vidal.
Sousa should have kicked that one out. Tried to force it through traffic.
Rudd with the air ball. Tired legs. It's a wasted opportunity for Bigua. They had numbers, and Rudd didn't hit anything. It looked like a chest pass to the rim.
Well, that's what happened at the other end. Sao Paulo had numbers, and Sousa, in a rare mistake for call him a legend.
Yeah.
Forced it in traffic when he didn't need to.
Another break here. Santos could not get that over the front of the rim. Behind the back pass, Vidal.
Wow, that was crafty.
And Santos will go to the line.
I don't know how he knew Santos was there.
We've seen a number of behind-the-back passes in this tournament from Vidal. Just a maestro with the basketball. And that is the fourth team foul for Sao Paulo with 5:34 remaining in the game. And it just feels like Bigua is trying to get Uncle Mo to put on their jersey. Uncle Mo has been wearing the Sao Paulo white jersey so far in this game. But toe the line, make your free throws.
With Uruguay being right next to Argentina, you have to wonder if Vidal's been hanging out with Facundo Campazzo. See him make those kind of passes.
He is a magician with the basketball. Santos goes 1 of 2 from the line. Pressure shown by Sims. Double comes. Given away. Vidal right down the lane.
I don't know what Cornell was looking at.
Sims. Vidal will take the three. Can't get it to go. Tapped up. An offensive rebound. Vidal resets. Can't get it to go again. And Bennett vacuums it in.
Well, Bigua wanted to be around 10 points with 5 minutes left. They're at 14. Make it 17. Oh.
And as
That's
you mentioned,
huge shot by Marquinhos Sousa.
the legend drilling the three. It's got to be mistake-free basketball from here on out. Sims has to come alive for Bigua. He knows it. Tees up a three. Can't get it to go. Santos is fouled on the floor, but it doesn't matter because that is the foul to put Sao Paulo in the penalty, which means Santos will toe the line. A 59% free throw shooter. He's just a load down there. You see him just like a Mack truck making some way. Well, Sims getting a hand, and it feels like almost like he's just gonna be hit for him this afternoon.
I was thinking the same thing when he sat down, unless he's just going to get a quick blow. Maybe they're going to see if they can mount a little bit of a comeback without him, and if they do, they'll put him back in. Otherwise,
Sims
has 17 points for Donald Sims, but it's taken him 17 shots to get there.
Yeah, he'd been efficient in this tournament. Tonight, not one of those nights. Have to wonder if fatigue caught up to him. Caboclo for three. Indeed.
Oh, my goodness.
25 points. 6 of 8 from deep for Bruno Caboclo. Proving that he is the best player in the Basketball Champions League of Americas right now.
I was just going to say, I think you can start engraving his name on the MVP trophy.
Vidal showed the up fake behind the back. That's Lopez for three. Too long. Santos offensive rebound. He'll go to work in the post. Caboclo got away with his 5th foul there. And an official's timeout as the ball might be soaking wet. We'll switch it out. Get a dry basketball. Coelho back into the game for Sao Paulo, and that's Bennett leaving. That's Sosa leaving.
You have to wonder if that's going to be it for Marquinhos Sousa in this game as well. The 37-year-old captain sitting down with 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists.
What a night for him. You saw as well Luis Santos. He had double-doubles in the Final 8 and the semifinal. Tonight, he gave you the points, could not give you double-double rebounds. That pass over the head of Gonçalves. 3:17 remaining, and the benches are almost cleared. There's Vidal. Rudd.
That's something you want to be a little careful with if you're Sao Paulo. I mean, they've got a big lead, but when you have guys who don't often play together, you might see some turnovers, and they might accidentally let Bigua get it down to about 10, and then something crazy might happen.
That felt like a shot clock violation.
I had the same feeling there, partner.
Ooh. Vidal drills the three and then takes the hard foul. That might be an unsportsmanlike. It's showing good sportsmanship there.
Yeah, it's just intentional. I mean, they know he's got to take that foul. Certainly no ill intent there.
Coraza would be happy with the trip to the free throw line, though, to add to his point total.
I'd sure love to see a replay on that three-pointer.
Here's the foul. He does reach across his
body. I think they are looking at that for an unsportsmanlike.
They are. He did reach across his body, and he tried to play the basketball. So I agree with you. I don't think it is an unsportsmanlike. It didn't look like any malintent, and he did play the ball. Coraza leaves the game. What a night for him. He was the X factor.
He was, especially early on.
Ball given away. Rudd inside. Oh, reverse layup. Can't finish.
How about the effort by Caboclo again?
Officials timeout. I don't know why they're calling it.
That's why.
Well, Rudd is on. I mean, Sao Paulo had the advantage. You have to let that play out. Rudd's probably experiencing a cramp.
If not outright exhaustion.
Well, 2:30 remaining in the game. Sao Paulo moments away from finishing a perfect season. And there it is yet.
Yeah, he holds that calf.
Pointed to it straight away. Right calf.
And that was completely clean by Caboclo. He went up there, went straight up, forced the miss.
There he is right there. 25 points, 4 rebounds, 3 blocks in 32 minutes of action, shooting 69% from the field. You saw all of his games here in Brazil. Arguably the best player in the Americas. I will remove that arguably and say he is the best player in the Americas.
And I think we may see Bruno in the association again. He was drafted in 2014, 20th overall in the first round by Toronto. Spent time with Toronto, Sacramento, Memphis, Houston. Played 105 games, 20 starts in the NBA. His best season was in 2019 with Memphis, when he played 34 games and averaged 8.3 points and 4.6 rebounds. He was a D-League champion in 2017 with Raptors 905.
Yep.
And he's showing that he can get it done on both ends.
Well, when he was drafted to the league, the famous line was that he was 2 years away from being 2 years away.
Yep.
And it feels like it was ages ago, but he's still a young pup and still has plenty of time.
Was that Fran Fraschilla?
Fran Fraschilla. 2 years away from being 2 years away. But he's only 26 years of age.
Wow.
And he won't turn 27 until September. That's still plenty of basketball in those legs. 27 points and counting for him. You saw him still with the high effort here in this game, even though the scoreline looks like it's out of reach. Under 2 to play here in the championship game. Sao Paulo pouring it on. Vidal. The floor a little slippery. That's exactly where Rudd was laying. Lorente Perez going for a spill.
Well, the bright side for Bigua is that they get to go back home to Montevideo, which is absolutely gorgeous. I was there for the 2017 FIBA Americas Championship Tournament, and just a gorgeous place to visit. Great restaurants, the great public market.
And they could go back with their heads held high.
Absolutely.
They just ran into a buzzsaw here in the finals. An undefeated Sao Paulo team that was just cooking. Not many teams will be able to withstand the offensive outburst that we've seen tonight.
And they haven't really cooled off. Overall, 53.9%, call it 54% from the floor. 55% from two-point range, 53% from three-point range.
Proas tees up a 3 and drills it. He's had a fine tournament. Spelling Santos for the majority of it. Well, last year, Flamengo won the championship. Team from Brazil. They got eliminated in the first game they played here in Brazil, as Gonçalves gets his first 2. Looks like the trophy will stay right here in Brazil, but we'll take the 6-hour drive up to Sao Paulo.
Yeah, 3 years of this tournament, 3 different champions. Real Estelí, then Flamengo, and now Sao Paulo in a matter of 43.3 seconds.
since the change in the tournament, it feels like just the level has been risen to a point where you can now be proud of whoever makes it out of the Americas to compete with some of the best in the world. Flamengo competing this year, becoming world champions at the Intercontinental Cup. And Sao Paulo will have that honor next year, try to bring that trophy back to the Americas once again.
I know one thing. I would not want to try to game plan for Bruno Caboclo.
It's a special night as he pulls down another rebound, his 5th.
He can torture you from inside, and he can torture you from outside.
No question, has my vote for the MVP.
No doubt, hands down.
Punctuation mark for Bruno Caboclo as he tries to tear the rim down. 29 points in the championship final. Shot clock will be off here as Bigua trying their best.
I love how Caboclo didn't even concede that.
That's the way it's been all season long. They started the season undefeated. They'll end the season undefeated. A perfect season for Sao Paulo. They are your 2022 Basketball Champions League of America's champions. 98-84, your final. Sao Paulo raising the trophy here in Brazil.
Looking at some of these numbers, 54 points for Sao Paulo from the three-point line.
Just a special
crazy
performance. They were the best offensive team coming into Rio de Janeiro for the Final 8. And they just showed you how good they can be offensively on any given night. Putting up 98 points. And as you mentioned, just scorching hot from three-point range. And Marquinhos Souza going to celebrate with those who have made the trip here to Rio de Janeiro. About a 6-hour drive from Sao Paulo. Hugs all around. You wonder if maybe this is the last time he plays at this level.
I can't imagine. He is still so good.
Enrique Coelho, you wonder if this is the last time he plays at this level as well. What a scene that is.
I think Coelho's got a few more years left in him, certainly at the club level. He's only 29. His days on the senior national team for Brazil may be over, but I think Enrique Coelho is
still got
one of
some
those
legs.
high-energy guys that, yeah, he'll be around for a while.
Tears of joy now beginning to spill from Marquinhos. There you see the final stats from the championship game. And if you remove the three-pointers and the final score, you'd struggle to figure out who won. It was that close outside of three-point range.
Yeah.
Bruno Caboclo, a game-high 29 points. Just a fantastic performance from him. And they're not wasting any time. They're going right to the net to try and cut these nets down, as you do when you win a title. Take a look at some of the highlights from this game. And there's going to be plenty for Bigua.
Yeah, Santiago Vidal had himself a nice game. 16 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists.
Wasn't enough on this night. Sao Paulo perfect all season long, and they finish perfect. With an opportunity now to hoist the trophy here in Brazil. But all the credit in the world to Bigua. They showed up and pulled off an upset in their first game against Cangueiros. They were able to get past Quimsa. And they scored a ton of points in the first 2 games here in Rio de Janeiro. Put up 98 against Quimsa.
Well, they put up 84 here. That's nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, no small feat. But as we said, it was a coronation tonight more than anything. For the best team, with the best player, had a great night. And one of the storylines coming into the game was how was Sao Paulo going to deal with the two-headed monster that was Santos and Sims, who came into this game averaging 60 points combined. They had 36 tonight.
And I don't know if that was necessarily anything that Sao Paulo did. I mean, Santos shot 50% from the floor and had 19 points. Sims, a little below his usual output. He had 17. But I don't know if they necessarily game planned anything to try to stop them. And look at how emotional Marquinhos Sousa is.
See what that means. Sometimes you come to these games and you just think about the winners and the losers, but anytime you have a chance to put a ring on your finger, a chance to win a trophy, a championship, see what it means to these players. And as you said, this is going to be the third time this trophy is handed out. It's the second time it's going back to a team from Brazil, but a legend like Marquinhos, who's played in so many games, so many big moments, see what it means to him, step out on the floor with his teammates, his brothers, and call himself a champion. Sao Paulo supporters awaiting the trophy presentation, as are we. We'll get the third place trophy handed out first, which will go to Minas in a game we called right before this one, Craig. And when you look at Minas, they had the opportunity to kind of lay over and maybe feel sorry for themselves playing in the third place game against Quimsa. Quimsa came out in the game and really put them on the ropes early. And what a response from Minas to come back in that first quarter after the one timeout and really change momentum. And they could celebrate a victory here.
Minas was a fun team to watch in this tournament. They really gave it everything they had. They just didn't have the firepower to keep up with Sao Paulo and Caboclo and Marquinhos Sousa.
And we found out no one does. It was
excellent point.
Sao Paulo who really showed up. Minas did try their best in the semifinal, but not much they could have done. They started the game on an 11-2 run, Sao Paulo, in that semifinal game against Minas. They battled back to get within one, and that was it. Sao Paulo said, you know what, we're going to put you in submission, and they did just that. It felt like that was going to happen in the third-place game with Quimsa. Quimsa ran out to an early lead, and Minas had every reason to tap out. They did not. You see the trophy there, the Basketball Champions League of America's trophy, waiting to be presented to our champion, Sao Paulo. The Sao Paulo faithful there with the celebration. There is our FIBA America's president, Carol Callan, getting set to be a part of this presentation. FIBA America's executive director, Carlos Alves, is also there. What a tournament this was. 8 teams that made the trip here to Brazil. Played well. I felt like every game was compelling. And as a fan, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, these games were tremendously entertaining. A lot of good basketball, a lot of good players, and anytime you see players, I mean, these are club teams, obviously, pro club teams, but they're representing their countries as well. A lot of these guys have played on national teams, and you have Uruguay, a team from Uruguay taking on a team from Brazil. Earlier on, you had a team from Argentina taking on a team from Brazil. So there's these natural rivalries that are out there, and they play hard in these tournaments. It's just so fun to watch.
We talk about Bigua really putting Uruguay on the map here. They're the first team from Uruguay that finished in the top 3 here in the Basketball Champions League of Americas. And that means something to them. They now know that they have another level up to get to win a championship, but just being here kind of sets you up to make this a habit more than anything. Last year's Real Esteli, a team that you saw play here in Brazil, who finished second last year, they were outmatched by Flamengo in the final, even playing at home in Nicaragua, but they're back here again in the final 8. And it's just a standard now that they set where they expect to be at least in the final 8, but they know the level they need to get to the championship. So it appears we are now set for the trophy presentations. We'll allow the sights and sounds to tell the story here from here on out. We'll see the smiles, and the cheers, and the handshakes, and the hugs, and a ton of picture taking as third place, second place, and the champions will be honored here, including the MVP, who will no doubt be Bruno Caboclo. I mean, there's no question about that. He's had a terrific, terrific tournament and season.
Absolutely no question. And if anybody other than Bruno Caboclo wins the MVP, I mean, I guess you could make an argument for Donald Sims, but in the biggest game, when it counted, Caboclo came up huge. And not to say that Sims disappeared by any stretch of the imagination, but it was Caboclo that carried his team.
No question. Great to see the collection of basketball minds that you see on your screen right there that help put together not only this tournament, but the age group tournaments, FIBA Americas, which is coming up in September. The AmeriCup, rather, coming up in September, right back in Brazil. That should be a ton of fun.
Yeah, the Americas and now AmeriCup, always a lot of fun to watch. That's very high-quality basketball, Olympic level.
All right, here we go with the trophy presentation. We'll allow the sights and sounds to tell the story here for you. There you see third place Minas getting their third place medal. Ran into Sao Paulo in the semifinals. They could walk away with at least a half smile on their face, leaving Brazil with a victory and an opportunity to improve on that third place placement next season. Congratulations to Minas. As we take a look at Bigua now, receiving their second place medals. Obviously wanting to leave here with a championship, but they should not hang their heads. They played a terrific final. Just met a better team in a one-game scenario. They now know the level they have to get to win the Basketball Champions League of Americas. First team from Uruguay to finish in the top 3 here at the BCLA. And you can see them proudly waving their flag despite not winning here in the finals. Still smiles all around for Bigua. Proud moment for those men in blue tonight, even in the loss. You rarely see that at this level. Just shows you how much and how tough it is to win at this level. But Bigua proud of their accomplishments tonight, and they'll make way as the champions are set to be honored here in Rio de Janeiro.
And Bigua absolutely, as we've talked about, has nothing to be ashamed of. They just ran into an absolute buzzsaw. That was Sao Paulo and Bruno Caboclo. I don't think any team in this tournament tonight would have gotten any closer to Sao Paulo.
Paulo Teixeira, they're the president of Brazilian Basketball Association, and Bruno Caboclo getting the MVP handed to him. The best player in the Basketball Champions League of Americas, and as you mentioned, Craig, a potential to maybe one day return to the NBA. He is in great form right now, playing great basketball, and all he may need is an opportunity.
I'd have to get me one of those T-shirts. Campeão.
What a tournament he's had. And what a final he had. Played great from start to finish on both ends of the floor. Finished with 29 points, a game high, 7 rebounds, and 3 blocks. Shooting 73% from the field.
And don't forget his hustle, too.
Set the tone early.
It's not like he just fouls. It's not like he just had a lot of easy dunks and open threes. I mean, he was playing hard on the defensive end, running down fast breaks, blocking shots.
Marcelo Souza, Executive Director of the Brazilian Basketball Federation, will hand out the medals to Sao Paulo. Shamil Stallworth, we did not see him at all tournament.
No, we did not.
But he is proudly wearing that net that was cut down around his neck. Hear the ovation for Marquinhos as well. And last but not least, Lucas Nogueira did a great job of spelling Bruno Caboclo anytime he was out of the game.
And he was very key in the quarterfinal victory over Real Estelí when Caboclo got in foul trouble. He played 20 minutes in that game. Played some good defense. Didn't fill it up offensively, but they didn't really need him to. He just chewed up minutes while Caboclo was on the bench in foul trouble, and then they had both of them out there, which we saw that alignment here in this game tonight. They saw how effective it was. Caboclo could back off a little defensively, knowing he had Nogueira there for help.
Sao Paulo supporters now beginning to chant as they know what time it is. Time to raise that trophy and dance till the sun comes up, and maybe even after it's up.
They do know how to do that in Rio, don't they?
It's one place I would love to win a championship. It's definitely Rio. Smiles all around for your Basketball Champions League of America's champions, and here comes the trophy. Carol Callan will hand the trophy over to the vets.
"41-year-old Shamel Stallworth and 37-year-old Bruno Caboclo. I'm sorry, Marquinhos Sousa.
It's perfection in 2022 for Sao Paulo, your Basketball Champions League of America's champions here in Brazil. A perfect season capped off with a perfect celebration. Sao Paulo, your champions of the BCLA in 2022. Craig's been a pleasure working with you here this evening. It was a pleasure listening to you all week long on the call.
Yeah, partner, I enjoyed it. Let's do this again.
For my partner, Craig Feda, for our producer, Gabe Ruiz, I'm Carlin Gay, saying so long from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, where perfection looks good on Sao Paulo. The 2022 Basketball Champions League of America's champions.